Hi, families. Welcome to Parent Information Night. This looks a little bit different than years past. Normally, you would come into the classroom and we would get to see each other, and I would give you all this information. But this year it's on video, which can also be a good thing because you'll have this video to refer back to if you ever have any questions. I also will be sending home a parent information folder with the students tomorrow so that you will have a hard copy of this information as well. I just wanted to tell you the first 3 days of school was so much fun with your kids. They were so well behaved. We had so much fun. They were laughing, singing, getting to know each other, and this is going to be a great year. So let's go ahead and get started. At St. Wendell, we always start everything with prayer. So please pray with me. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord Jesus, you are with us as we commence our year's work. Help us to understand our importance in educating our children, and bless our partners, the parents and the teachers. Guide us in our decisions and open our hearts in friendship to each other. May we show particular care to those who are most in need. May we welcome especially those who are shy and uncomfortable. And may this meeting of ours result in many benefits for the children on whose half we gather. Amen. All right, like I said, there's going to be a lot of information in this slideshow and in this video. Please don't let it overwhelm you. You'll have a copy of this video on YouTube. I will be giving the Parent Information Night folder to the kids tomorrow. You can also get a hold of me anytime with any questions. And we will also be having a question and answer Zoom meeting on Wednesday at 6 p.m. If you do think of any questions that you need to ask. And if you don't mind, if you could send me an email to let me know if you will make it or not. So here is my email, a40@evdio.org. My phone number, 812-319-4871. You can email me, text me, call me, whenever you need to with any kind of question that you may have. We will also be using the Remind app and the Homeroom app. If you haven't signed up for that, please do so. I have included in the parent information folder the instructions on how to do that. And let me just show you what those will look like if you haven't used those before. This is kind of what it looks like with the Remind app. I will use this to give information about homework or different spirit dress days or free dress days or just anything that might be going on in the classroom. I'm also going to use the Homeroom app, which I think most of you have signed up for, where we can share pictures of these sweet little cute little kiddos and the fun things that we're going to do in our classroom. So, and this is just, when you sign up for this, just our class. No one else can see this, just us, me and the parents, and I think Mrs. Choi is in there too. So that's a fun one. All right, let's close that out and let's go on to the next information. This just gives us a little bit more information about our classroom and how much fun we're going to have. And I've really been talking with the kids about how we are a family and how we're kind to one another. And they've been doing such a nice job being kind friends. And it was really cute because I was talking about how we were a family, and a couple of the little girls were like, "You're the mommy and we're the kiddos." And I just love that. So that made me so happy. All right, classroom rules. I just wanted to go over these with you so that you're aware of what our classroom rules are and you can help encourage your kiddos to follow those classroom rules. Rule number 1, eyes are watching. Rule number 2, ears are listening. Rule number 3, mouth is quiet. Rule number 4, hands and feet to yourself. And rule number 5, heart is caring. And we go over those every day, and we have a little song that we sing, so they're getting a hang of that already. All right, our next slide is about behavior, which fits right in with our past slide, the rules. So in our classroom, we're going to use a lot of positive reinforcement. We're going to encourage that good behavior and point out when they're raising their hand or they're being a kind friend or they're really listening and focusing. And we will use Class Dojo to encourage that. So Class Dojo, if you haven't used it before, is a kind of like a point system where they will earn points for their good behavior, and they can even lose points for their behavior that might not be so good or for weak choices. And we will communicate why they lose points. But for the most part, they will get points for good behavior. And the points that they earn each week, they'll get to cash that out for Dojo dollars and then use their Dojo dollars in our classroom store. And we have a lot of fun things that they can buy with those Dojo dollars. There is an app that you can download on your phone, and I have included that information in the parent information folder that you will get tomorrow afternoon when your student comes home. And this app will help you see how they're doing at school and how they're earning points or losing points. And I'll be able to communicate in there with you. And I just loved it. Maverick used it last year in kindergarten, and it was a great way for me to know how he was doing at school throughout the day. So, like I said, the login information will be in the parent information folder. And let me just show you what Class Dojo looks like here really quickly. This is what the screen will look like in our classroom. So here we go. Each student has a little monster. And as you can see, they have a 1 or a 2 by their name, and that's how many points they have currently. We just introduced this on Friday afternoon. So they don't have a lot of points right now, but we will get started with that this week. But you'll be able to see your students' name and monster on your app and how many points they have. So that's what it will look like for us students, or for our students at school. Okay, let me get back to my Google Slides. Sorry about that. It left me. Okay, so Class Dojo. Now we will move on to lunch and snack. Okay, just a few reminders about lunch and snacks. So every day the student can bring a snack to school. You can send it in each day, or you can bring in several snacks that can last them through the week or several weeks. And also if they get, if they forget a snack, I have extra snacks in the classroom, and we can also go down to the cafeteria to buy a snack. So just a reminder there. Also, another reminder about lunch. We are eating lunch in our classroom. So if your student is bringing their lunch, just make sure they have a spoon if they need one, and maybe a napkin. And also make sure they know if they need a milk to drink, if they don't have a drink in their lunchbox. And also just so that they know what they are having for lunch. So let me show you what that looks like. Every morning they come in and they get to find their name, and they get to choose what they're having for lunch. So they're either having hot lunch, which is the main tray, the alternate, which is usually like a turkey and cheese wrap or a sandwich or something like that, a salad, or they brought their lunch. So just make sure that they know what they're bringing or what they're having for lunch, so that they can make their choice and I can get that submitted. Also, if you would make sure they know the difference between their lunch and their snack. That's still something that they're learning, and they'll get a hang of it. So like I said, if you have any other questions about that, you can let me know. All right, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, recess. So we have several opportunities for recess. We do get to go to recess this year, which is very exciting. I think recess and moving our bodies is so important. So we will have a morning recess after snack, which we use the smaller kindergarten playground by Mrs. Holder's room. So they have a chance to use the jungle gym and the swings. Now there are a set of monkey bars, and I have asked the students that they have to show me that they can get all the way across the monkey bars before they can do it by themselves, because I'm just nervous that someone will get hurt. So if you want to talk to your kiddos about the monkey bars, that would be great. Also, we will go to recess after lunch, and each class stays with their own class, and we all have our own different alternating spots. So something that the kids are still getting used to is that we don't go to the same spot for recess, and we don't always have a playground. So sometimes we might go down the hill, but we might be in the grassy field, or we might have the playground. Or one day we might go out front of school, or over in the baseball fields, or the kindergarten playground. So each day we have a different spot, and they will get a hang of that. I'm also trying to get some more things in our recess bag, because we have our own set of equipment for each class. So I'm still trying to get a few more things in there that they will have, just in case we don't have a playground and we just have a field. Also, every Friday afternoon, they get an extra recess gym time with Mrs. Adler as their specials that day. And then they have gym class on Tuesdays and Thursdays. and we will take mini brain breaks. So lots of opportunity to get their body moving. All right, next slide. Birthdays. We love birthdays in kindergarten. Birthdays are so much fun to celebrate. So in the parent information folder, there's a schedule on when we will celebrate your child's birthday, and you are welcome to bring in a prepackaged snack and drink if you would like. You are not obligated to do that, but if you would like to, just make sure it is prepackaged, or you could bring in a little treat bag. Just if there's any food, make sure it's prepackaged and not something that was brought or made at home this year. That is a change because in past years we have been able to make things at home and bring it in, but this year it needs to be a prepackaged snack. All right. Excuse me. Okay. All right, dismissal information. So the first 3 days of school, the kiddos did a great job knowing where they were supposed to go at 2:30 or 3 o'clock. In the email that I send with this video link, I'm going to send a Google form. If you could fill it out for me and let me know if your student will normally be at 2:30, 3 o'clock, or aftercare. I know it may change and it might be different each day. On that form, you can type in what you might think it will be. But if it does change, you can always send in an email or a note, or you can call the office and let them know that it's changing for that day. Also, just continue to talk with your kiddos about what they need to do at the end of the day, whether they're picked up at 2:30, 3 o'clock, or that they'll go to aftercare. But they have done such a great job knowing where they're going at the end of the day. And some of them have older brothers or sisters that help with that too. So if you don't mind to fill out that Google form in this email to help me just kind of get a general idea of where they'll be going at the end of the day, so I make sure that they get to the right spot. All right, moving right along. I know there's a lot of information, so bear with me. Volunteers. Unfortunately, we can't have visitors at school right now, which makes me sad, but we still would love for you to be a part of our classroom. So I have also included in this email a Google Sheets form. We have lots of opportunity for people to still be a part of our classroom and volunteer. If you'd like to bring in a snack on a special day, just fill in your name next to that activity. We have what's called the 20th day, the 30th day, 40th day, 50th day, all the way up to the 100th day of school. So we have a special visitor called Zero the Hero, and he's a stuffed animal, and he comes into our class to celebrate every 0 day. So those 20th all the way to 100th day snacks are just snacks or treats that would be in the shape of a 0 or a circle. So if you do sign up for those and have more questions about that, just send me an email or call me or text me about your questions. But we appreciate any help that you can give, and we hope that this is a way, or I hope that this is a way that you can still feel a part of the classroom. All right. Field trips. Unfortunately, right now we can't go on field trips, but we'll say a prayer that everyone stays healthy, and maybe that can change later on this year. Okay, a little bit about dress code. Just a reminder that they wear the polo shirt and shorts, pants, or a skirt, or sometimes the girls wear jumpers. I just want to remind everyone to keep practicing those belts and tucking in their shirts. They are doing such an amazing job. There's a lot of them that are already getting a hang of it and doing so well. My son Maverick had a hard time with it, so I bought some magnetic belts that have really helped him. So if you do notice that your child's struggling with it, so Amazon does have magnetic belts, but they are doing amazing. I'm so proud of them. Also, some days we have some Fridays, it's usually a spirit dress day or a free dress day. A spirit dress day, they wear any St. Wendell or Mater Day or St. Wendell sports shirt and uniform bottoms. And then on free dress, they get to choose what they wear. Just make sure that it still follows the dress code in the handbook. Also, masks. If you don't mind, if you could put an extra mask in their backpack. We had a couple that broke this week, and the disposable ones from the office were way too big for their face. So if they could keep an extra mask in their backpack, that would be super helpful. And I'm so proud of them for doing such a good job with their masks. They've been keeping it on when they've been asked to, and they have not complained. And I'm just so proud of them, because that is not something that is normal or easy. And sometimes it gets hot. And they just blew me away with how well they did with it. So I'm just so, so proud of them. All right, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, important dates. Remember that picture day is this week, August 12th. The students have free dress on this day, so they can wear whatever they would like for their pictures. And just a friendly reminder to make sure you turn in your envelope with the picture money in it. If you're ordering pictures, you do not have to. Parent-teacher conferences, they will be held virtually this year, or we can do it over the phone. So we will do it through a Zoom meeting or through a phone call. I'm not sure how we're going to sign up for that this year because we usually use Sycamore, but we do not have that system. So more information to come on how to sign up for those. They will be held on October 21st and 22nd, and students will be dismissed at 12:30 on those days. But more information to come on that and how to sign up. Also, there's many other important dates, but those are on the school calendar, and I will put them on the classroom newsletter. And your student will be coming home with the classroom newsletter Monday afternoon also. All right. Okay, here is a schedule of the specials they get each week. So on Monday, they will rotate every other week between music and technology. They will have music class with Mrs. Byrne. She will travel to our classroom and have music class with them. And then the next Monday, they will get technology with Mrs. Adler. So they'll be on the iPad doing some activities on there. So that will rotate every other week. So this Monday we have music. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, they have gym with Mrs. Spawn, and they actually get to travel to gym class. We're staying as one class, but they get to have gym class. If just a friendly reminder to make sure they're wearing tennis shoes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Most of the time they normally do, but just a reminder, sometimes kiddos wear slip-on shoes that have backs on them, but just make sure that they have tennis shoes on Tuesdays and Thursdays especially. Wednesday is art class with Mrs. Martin. She will travel to our classroom and have art class with the students, which they love. And then Friday, they get that extra recess or gym time with Mrs. Adler. So these are times where they get something different than just Mrs. Forey talking. So they always love that. All right. Okay, curriculum. I have included in the parent information folder a lot of things about curriculum. So, for example, let me move out of this. Okay, so for example, this Chicka Chicka Boom Boom is just a example of one of our reading lessons for the week. So we will do, it's called Engaged Readers, and we will have a story, and then we will learn different skills about that story. We'll have a vocabulary and grammar lesson. For example, in this lesson, we'll be working on prediction, retelling, connection, problem solution, and opinion writing. And then our vocabulary words would be twisted and tangled. And then we would focus on nouns. But this is just kind of an example of what one of our lessons may look like. It's kind of just gives you a glance of that. All right, let's go to, close that out. Let's move on to math, okay? So in the folder, there's also a schedule of what our math units will look like. I'm using a curriculum called Kinder Math, and there are 15 different units, and you can see the topics here, anywhere from numbers 0 to 5 all the way down to money values. So those are the different math skills that we will be learning this year. And like I said, there's a copy of this in the Parent Information Night folder that will be sent home tomorrow. All right. Next, phonics. Let's see where I have that one. Okay, let me grab that real fast. I think sorry about that. I had it up and now I don't. Okay, let me find that. So phonics, we will start with just a few letters at a time. I think there's 4. Let me double check. I want to make sure I'm telling you the right answer here. Okay, so this schedule is also in the Parent Information Night folder. So as you can see right here, week 1, which we're not going to start that this week. We're going to start phonics and our reading and sight words and things next week. I want to give the students another week of learning procedures and routines. We are going to start some math lessons this week, but I'm going to start the other lessons next week to give them another week to kind of get the routine and just get used to being back in school because it's been a while. So if you notice, week 1, we will focus on letters T, A, B, and H and their sounds. And then we will move on to N, M, R, L, and I and their sounds, and then we will review. And then we'll move on to 4 more and 4 more in review. So if you notice, by week 8, we have already went over the letters and the sounds, and then we're moving on to other things to try to focus on those reading skills. So this is in that information folder. So if you have any more questions, you can always get a hold of me for that. But that's just kind of a general idea what we'll be covering for phonics. All right. Sight words. So we will start this next week. Also, sight words, or we're going to also call them rainbow words. They will get a list each week. The first list are red words, and there will be 6 words on each list. And what we'll do is on Fridays, they will read those words to me. And if they get them all right, then they will get the next list of words for the next week. Now, if they have trouble reading the words to me on Friday, they can always reread them to me on the next Monday. And then once we go through all 4 of those lists in red, we will review all of those words. And then we will move on to the orange list. And sometimes parents get a little bit nervous if their kiddos aren't reading the words as quickly as what they thought. Sometimes, or all the time, we will have students at different lists all throughout the year. Some students may read them faster and some may take a little bit more time, and that's all okay. We just have to keep practicing. So that will start next week. And there's also a copy of this rainbow word schedule in the folder that you'll get tomorrow. All right. Let's go on to the next one here. All right, social studies. We have a workbook that we will be working throughout the year, and we'll also have different special activities throughout the year that will also go with our social studies curriculum. Science, we're going to use Kinder Science, and it will have units on life science, earth science, physical science, space and machines, and 5 senses and forces. And there's all kinds of hands-on activity. I'm really excited about this new Kinder Science curriculum that I found and excited to use it in the classroom. Religion, we will have a lesson on the weekly gospel. We'll learn from Bible stories and videos. We will read a devotional every day. We're going to go to Mass. Normally we go twice a week, but this year it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to have Mass right now in the gym, and kindergarten, since there's 2 classes, will only go once a week, and we will go on Thursdays. And we're also going to wait a week or 2 to start the kindergartners. We're going to let the other classes go and kind of work out the kinks and see how it goes, because normally kindergartners can have church buddies sit with them and kind of help guide them through the Mass, and this year they won't be able to. So we want to give the kiddos a couple weeks to kind of just get used to school and then start Mass. Mrs. Shoy might also take a couple at a time when we do start going, just so that they can kind of get used to it and then go as a class. So more information will come to you about that. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work out, just because things are very different this year for Mass. So I will give you more information as I get that information. Okay, homework. Let's see if okay, yes, homework. So each Monday, I'm going to send home the homework for the week. I will put it in the red or blue homework folder in the B binder. And each week you'll have the sight word list and a sight word reader that goes with the list that they're on, and then a math practice worksheet. Okay, so the sight word list, they read to me every Friday, and then I will give them their new list on Monday in the homework folder. Then they will have a reader that goes with one of their sight words that are on that list. I'm going to have them read that story to me every Friday when they read the sight words to me. So I ask that you at least read that sight word reader at least 2 times. If they're struggling, maybe you have to read it more than twice. If it seems really easy, maybe you only read it once, but normally about 2 times, maybe 3 times is good. If you get to a point where you feel like they're good with it and they're strong with it, you just use your best judgment. I just want them to be able to read it to me on Friday with their sight words. I'll send home a weekly math practice worksheet in the folder. I'm eventually going to give that digitally. And not in the folder, but right now I'm going to give you a hard copy in the folder, but eventually we'll go to a digital form of it just so we can kind of get used to doing things digitally, just in case there would be a reason that we would have to quarantine or go to online learning. All right, testing. Excuse me. For reading, we will have a short comprehension quiz each week. For math, we will have a pre-skill check for each unit and a post-skill check for each unit, and it's very short. And then, of course, the sight words, they will read their sight words each Friday to me. And then if they struggle with them, they can reread them on the following Monday. So those are some of the testing things that we will do this year. Okay, digital learning. We will use an app or website called Seesaw. This is what a lot of the other classrooms are using, especially K1 and 2. I used it with Maverick during the e-learning this past year, and it's very user-friendly. I've included login information in the parent information folder that the students are bringing home tomorrow afternoon. I recommend logging in as soon as possible, just to kind of see what it looks like and kind of fiddle around with it. I'm also going to use this eventually for the math homework, just so that the students and parents get used to using this system, this format, just in case there is ever a time that we are in quarantine or we have to learn from home. And let me just show you kind of what Seesaw looks like. All right. Okay, so this is kind of what it will look like. You'll have your student's name here, but if you notice, I have all the students' names in here, and I will post activities to their journal, and it will show up right here on what they need to do. But we will learn more about this, and the students are going to know how to use it because we will use it for centers. They will have a digital center where they're on an iPad and do some activities in here. But I just recommend logging into that because we will be using that for math homework a little bit down the line. All right, let me close some of these out. Oh, and I want to check, I think I showed you that. I did. Okay. All right. I just wanted to say thank you for all of the supplies you sent in at the beginning of the school year. We are ready to go for the school year, and I really appreciate that. Here is a link to our Amazon Classroom Amazon wish list if you'd like to check it out. I do have some things on here specifically for recess so that we have maybe some more equipment, especially, like I said, if we don't have a playground to play on. So there's just some different things on there if you want to take a look at that. All right. Okay, so I know there was a lot of information that I provided. I'm sure I probably forgot something, and you may have a lot of questions. But like I said, you'll have a copy or a link to this video where you can go back and listen. I'm sending that folder home tomorrow with the children with all the information in it. And we will also be having a Zoom question and answer meeting on Wednesday at 6 p.m. I've included the link for that meeting in this email as well. So if you would, just let me know if you'll make it. If you cannot make it, that's okay too. You can always email me, text me, or call me with any questions that you have. Just another reminder to fill out that dismissal Google form in the email, and if you would like to volunteer to fill out the Google Sheets form. But I just wanted to say thank you, and I'm so excited to be working with all of you this year. We're going to make this a positive year, even though it can be a difficult situation. The children have done amazing, and I love them already. And I just appreciate your time. And I hope that you all have a great week. And like I said, please feel free to reach out to me with any questions or concerns you ever have. Thank you so much, and have a great week.